rated
No,
number 3 in France.
he's not.
The
What?
France.
What? What did he
What?
just say?
So
Well,
today
okay.
we will be talking about the end of quarantine, if you haven't gathered.
Which we
So first topic,
as well.
first subtopic is barbershops reopening. What we
Yeah,
were saying.
that's a new one.
Lit
I already got my
or
hair
I
cut.
lit?
think that is generally like one of the biggest things that people ask for. You know,
So many
I think
people are gonna
that's
get
a
new
real step
trims.
forward.
I don't know. I haven't been to a barbershop in like probably like over 10 years.
I haven't been to a barbershop in like 9 months
I've been
because my
since the
uncle's a
start of
professional
quarantine.
barber,
So
so I
I
normally
there are
just
those
have
like
him do
people
it.
with family members who cut their hair, but
And then in
for,
quarantine, I cut it myself.
I don't think
Would.
that. I think that anyone can cut hair. With
Nah,
like
anyone can cut
pretty
hair.
much
I mean, only if you
anyone with
cut hair.
competence can cut hair. It's just a
no.
task. It's
Some people
yes,
can't. Well, everyone can cut hair. Not everyone can cut hair well.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing.
you can if you're competent and you know how to use your hand.
The
I mean,
trim certain man have
realistically,
given you, Joseph.
it's
What do
just
you? Oh yeah, because they're incompetent. What do you mean? Like literally 20 minutes. I got my current haircut. It took 20 minutes. It's his first time ever trying like to cut someone else's hair. And it's a bang like if you see it in real life, okay. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
sure
you
how it
have
looks
really
on that
easy
thing.
hair to cut.
It's a
Some
banging
people's
haircut.
hair is just not nice to cut. It's not. It's not that easy to cut.
I mean, with Joe, you just go zoom around the sides and you're done, innit?
Exactly.
It just depends
I
on
mean,
your hair and your like
apart from
quality of hair.
barbershops, boys,
Hmm?
the most. What do you think is actually the best thing that's probably reopening that you would most definitely miss?
McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, all of that stuff.
That's basically
Gym
been open for like
except
a
not
month,
opening.
bro. The gym's not reopening.
Not yet.
No, not
I
yet.
know it's a bit of a letdown.
That is so sad. That is wow. I can't believe you can. Wow, what a shame.
What a shame.
I don't feel the same, but what a shame.
I mean,
Gym
actually,
open or closed, bro. It doesn't even affect John at all, bro.
haven't they like um brought back like McDonald's and KFC and all that?
Yeah,
Drive-throughs,
bro.
yes,
Just get
but
deliveries, bro.
But
yeah, but that's long.
Who's trying to actually? Let's be honest. There's with fast food nowadays. It's not an experience. It's like before you'd be like, oh, I'm going to the restaurant because yeah, it's like the atmosphere and everything. But now it's just like, wow, this food tastes so much better when I can watch it in front of my own home.
Nah,
Well, not in
mate, it's the
front of my
employee
own.
codes. It's the codes, mate, where you get fucking chips, a drink, and a burger for like 1.99.
yo, yeah.
Yeah,
There's codes
facts.
When
Yeah,
they
on
got
delivery
that's
as
meat,
well.
yeah, mate.
There's
They're the
codes on
ones,
delivery
mate.
as well, you
I
idiots.
don't think that I've made a like non that kind of order like in since I got them. They're just so helpful. For like £2, you get like £4 worth of stuff. But you
Yeah, for real.
like it's actually a lifesaver. Like I've probably saved like £20 or more.
To be
Yeah, but
fair
you can
though,
also
like
save money by not ordering fast food.
Okay,
yeah,
but
yeah, it might be cheap, but it's not as cheap as buying food and cooking yourself.
actually not
Exactly.
I'm not
necessarily
sure.
though, not necessarily.
Bro,
But
go to
what do you mean
Costco,
not necessarily,
get
G?
yourself some hot, buy in
Necessarily.
bulk and cook it yourself.
Not necessarily.
These goddamn lazy
Yes,
Gen
I
Zers.
necessarily.
I could buy what like you go to, like Iceland, yeah, and you get like chicken nuggets and chips.
Okay, see that's where you that's where you failed, right?
No, but Iceland is very cheap unless you go pound instead. But like Iceland is cheap as you're gonna
Does
get
does
like
Poundland have a
What?
£1
freezer
stuff.
section?
Huh?
Yeah, like what?
Hold on a minute.
Ah,
This is news.
I never knew
What?
fucking Poundland had a
Poundland
freezer
has a
section.
freezer section, bro.
You have every section you could imagine.
No, it does
Since
not,
when?
For £1.
bro. If you're buying, if you're buying chips from Poundland,
No,
you already
they
have
freezer.
Corona.
Yeah,
If you're buying
they
chips
have
from
ice
hey, I
Poundland,
buy. Oh wait, no, not from Poundland, from Iceland.
if
Yeah,
you
that's what
yeah,
I'm
exactly,
saying.
if you're buying
Like,
chips from Poundland, you did need to quarantine. You have the vaccination for like every disease out there. It is
that's
impossible for you
true.
to get infected. If you're
Like,
buying
no, pound
frozen
and
food,
meal deals, bro. Pound and meal deals. Can you imagine buying a pound and meal deal?
What they?
Poundland
But
meal
how
deal.
much a pound of meal
What?
deals?
and like,
Probably
is a Poundland
£3,
meal
right?
deal like a Poundland meal deal is £1.50 for three things.
It doesn't really matter how
It's
much it is
actually
or not.
It's half a
Don't,
sandwich.
don't be tempted, Joe. Don't be tempted.
And-
Half a sandwich.
It's
Are you
half a
tapped?
sandwich.
How's it a meal?
An unfizzed, like a can of Coke with no fizz in it, and like a sweet that's been dropped on the floor. That's what pound and meal would be.
Okay, listen to this though. I just bought a meal, not like a share meal, and it has 8 pieces of chicken, 6 wings, 4 portions fries, and a 1.5 litre drink, and that's one person meal. I'm pretty sure, and I just munched that. How are they trying to give you half a sandwich?
That's not a one person meal. That's a one Joseph meal. For most people,
That's a one family meal.
That's a small family of 3. Okay, like I don't know what for you.
That could be a number of people. Although realistically, right, it could be a tactic to just like in schools to put like vaccine stuff into school food. You think that would work?
No.
You think that's why they're reopening schools?
That's not how vaccines work, is it?
Yeah, also,
I'm sure you
What?
could find a way to make that work. Actually, no, you couldn't.
No.
I don't know.
also that's
Otherwise, vaccines would be in pills and not injections.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm not gonna lie to you,
I don't think she'll be able to object.
this sounds
object
not
vaccines.
just stupid. It also sounds very illegal. Like
True,
Just
but
fucking
it could be effective because we just
drug kids' foods in schools. Fucking hell.
yeah, why are you trying to
Because,
drug
like,
kids? in
Today's
schools?
dessert,
With
custard and
consent,
cake with sprinkled fucking pills.
no, but
It's how-
with this
that's
like
how child abuse
coronavirus
happens.
stuff, it's become much more like relevant to keep your children like healthy and
What
disease-free.
vaccinated?
And,
Yeah,
like,
but there are still
anti-vax
some
is
people that
more
are
potent.
anti-vax.
Anti-vax
It's like
is
the
not
whole thing about like people who are anti-mask. It's like anti-vax, but with a more
Anti-mask.
like
That's what I'm
prominent. Yeah,
saying,
people
it's-
are like I refuse to wear a mask. My body, my choice. It's like that's the same thing as anti-vax.
yeah,
And that's the
realistically,
reason
right.
why. That leads on to the next subtopic about how the infection rates are currently increasing.
Yeah, and death rate.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. You
Hey,
think
see,
wave
the thing
2's
is-
coming or not yet?
Hmm?
I think the second wave is well. I mean.
Oh no,
Right.
second wave is definitely coming, mate.
Second wave is definitely coming.
I don't think
Yeah,
that
but right now or not yet?
We'll have to
It's
wait.
creeping.
A little.
I think it's as more people are like going outside, it's it's definitely coming back because it's kind of like
I don't think it's a thing, you know. I think it's just like
you
a
don't think the
theory.
second wave is a thing. It's not.
No,
a
but
theory.
like no,
It's-
as
the
in
second
like
wave has
it's-
happened with every single mass like infection. So like
yeah, but this is different.
Spanish
though.
flu.
But,
Nah,
Really?
you say that, mate. You
How's
say
this
that.
different?
How
This
it's
the
like
same
everything
shit over and
that
over
is able
again.
to infect people in the same like way that most diseases do. It occurs via the second wave. So Spanish flu the first time around killed
like 2 million. The next time killed like
next time around killed it increases because it's like survivor's bias. Like, you know what that is? Survivor's bias is basically when when you look at the information of people that survived, you miss the information that would help you keep more people alive. It's like if you had a plane and you're like, oh, the people that sat in the front row, like all of them survived. That means the front row of the plane is really good. What we should be focused on is the fact that no one survived in the back row. So you should really fix that. So it's like it ends up happening with like infection where everyone's like, oh, see, clearly COVID-19 wasn't such a big deal. We all survived. And they go outside. They don't pay attention to any measures. They go back to not vaccinating their kids and never using hand sanitizer. And then they're like, oh, how did I get infected? This is like a government sham.
But the thing is that COVID's like different though, because with COVID it's not that lethal, which means that most people have herd immunity. Like with Spanish flu, people got it from second wave. Like they just got it for the first time. That's why they died. Whereas COVID, I think that a lot of people have already had it without even knowing.
I mean, the difference between then and now is the amount of people that are alive now. So it's like,
But I think that I don't know. Go on, Joe.
I think that coronavirus is also. I'm pretty sure you can catch it more than once. So like, just because someone's had it and not, died from it, there can still be a second wave because it can still be in everyone, and like everybody's going outside.
Yeah.
80%, let's say 90% of people are going outside. 80% of people are immune, and 80% of people have it. And those are all the immune people. They're obviously going to give it to the rest of them that are going to get fucked up by it, you know?
Like, is it wise for us to actually go back out? Like,
I think you just
so many
kind of,
people to go
have to
back out.
firm it though. Like, I don't think it's worth like staying and damaging the UK even more and more. I don't
See,
know.
What do you mean damaging the UK
apparently-
even more and more?
Oh, Adrian froze.
Adrian,
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking with my mind. I'm speaking with my mind. Anyway, as I was saying, let me just get back into it.
Are you waiting for you to unfreeze? Oh, there you go.
So as I was saying,
Adrian,
Oh.
I told you.
don't bait it out. Don't bait it out. Don't bait it. You don't bait it out. If
That
you
was the
see it,
second
you
wave.
don't bait it out.
That's how the second wave starts.
But as I was saying,
in the eye.
Staying inside is worse than going outside, because staying inside fucks your immunity.
Yeah.
Messes up your immunity, and so you become weaker by staying inside than going outside. That's why staying inside good to an extent, but you're just screwing yourself up more, increasing chances. That's why
you could
every
go
now and then
outside,
go
but I feel
out.
like the issue with going
Stay
outside is
inside.
that people are no longer going to care about like the measures. So like when it was like, oh, wash your hands for 20 seconds while singing happy birthday twice, you should pretty much be doing that anyways. But no one was. But
That's so long.
you?
Like 30 seconds
Long.
is mad. Like for me, it's
Yeah.
like
wow,
10
wow,
seconds
it's
out.
so
Dip
crazy.
one hand underwater
You see,
and sing with the
this
other.
is
and
the
it's
issue,
done.
right? This is the issue.
No, it's not.
If you put soap,
No,
for
no,
10
I'm
The
seconds,
issue is silly people that believe you have to wash your hands for 20 seconds. Like, okay, from 15
Joseph,
seconds to 20
right, okay.
seconds, your hands getting
If you-
cleaner. No, they're not getting cleaner.
You're gonna
They're
be
getting
rubbing all of the dead
coarse.
skin off more, and you're gonna have more soap in your hands if you're using the correct amount, and it's gonna be going into your hands further. It's scientifically proven. It's
Don't
this
lie.
the issue
Why do I
right
want
here.
soap in my
Shut
body?
up, Joseph.
I want soap in my
It's
body.
not going in your body. You don't understand.
Maybe
Look,
if
I could
wash my hands
explain
loud.
the chemistry of soap, but I don't want to. I don't want to take time away from it. The issue isn't whether or not it's necessarily useful. The issue is the mindset of, oh, this is going to mildly inconvenience me for like 10 more seconds. I'm not going to do it. It's like, okay, if you're saying, oh, I shouldn't have to wash my hands for like 20 seconds, oh, that's so long. If a doctor didn't do that and said, okay, I'm going to perform open heart surgery on your mum, I've washed my hands. No, it's not different, because the same reason, it's the same method they take to make sure that a patient doesn't get infected. That's saving someone's life. If you just use the same method to make sure you're not infecting anyone else, you could save someone's life. It's like,
People
okay,
need to turn into
I'm going to wash my
cats.
hands for 20 seconds.
That's all I'm saying.
It's like, at worst, all right, if I don't wash my hands, I could die. At best, if I take 20 seconds out of my day, I could just
And you
continue
can
with my
still
day.
fucking die.
Yeah, but it's a lesser chance. It's like 95% to 50%. I'm gonna take the 50%. It makes the most sense. It's like the thing with the mask.
Washing
Right?
up.
If someone with corona is wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask, the transmission probability is like 2%. If someone with corona is not wearing a mask and you're not wearing a mask, you're probably gonna get it immediately. It's like, oh, what? This could like actually save someone's life if they have a respiratory disease, or I could just have an uncomfortable piece of cloth on my face. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna wear the piece of cloth. It doesn't. It's like a spoiled mindset. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I could also be helping out a bunch of people.
Yeah, you have to be selfless with these kind of things. Because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, right? So I went to school today, so I took train like twice, whatever. And when I was on the train, half people had no masks. They just walking about, which I think is a big issue for the infection rate. I don't know.
also don't understand
I was
why
thinking
wearing a
fine
mask
as
is a
well.
big issue. Why is wearing a mask a big issue for people as well?
No, to be fair, it gets bare like hot and uncomfortable. Or like,
I can't breathe with a mask on.
I mean, so sometimes I just go like that for like 2 seconds and put it back on just because I need to like breathe. Because it's bare hot. I'm in the suit and it's like 31 degrees. I was roasting.
Fun fact, do you know when you breathe out your nose, you only breathe out one nostril at a time, and it can alternate throughout the day. So if you breathe now and put like one finger,
I'm so glad we're continuing with the topic of the
you
end
can
of quarantine.
you can
Thanks,
feel you can
Adrian.
feel it
That
one
leads
more
on
on
to
one
the
side than the other
segue.
side
We're changing the
because you breathe out
subject,
one.
Adrian.
What? If you do this,
It doesn't. It changes by itself.
what like regulates it?
I don't know,
It's actually,
but it is actually quite mad. You only breathe out through one nostril.
So, how much do you think is
I'm
to
breathing.
blame on key political figures for the infection rates going back up?
well, I wouldn't necessarily say the infection rate's going like back up, but I would say that like if you're telling people to do something and then you go out and do the opposite, it's like you can't do that in that circumstance.
It's like, is it Dominic Cummings or Dominic Coming
Yeah.
and
Humings.
Goings?
I don't actually know what he did when he went out. Well, I know he
He
went
went
out.
went out.
Sometimes.
He went to see his girlfriend. Is it, like, one second.
That's
Is
a
it
that's a
Dominic
little.
Cummings or Dominic Cummings and Goings? Thank you. Don't all laugh at once. You
I
can
laugh. I
laugh.
find it funny. Right, go on,
It's
Nick.
like, that's
Yeah.
nonsense. It's like, if you're gonna leave your house after telling an entire country that you shouldn't leave your house, and then you're not even gonna apologize for it, you're gonna be like, no, I stand by it. Sure, that's great for you, but now other people are just gonna be like, oh, so this is clearly nonsense. Let's go outside.
Just lose
Mate,
mess.
a girlfriend's a legitimate reason to leave your house. That could be your future wife.
He
And a
drove
man at
four,
his
he drove
age,
like 3 hours, bro.
yeah, 3 hours in his own car.
Fucking Skype, bro. And he
That's
took his
basically
kid with
staying
him.
indoors.
No, and he took his kid with him. His kid who went to school during. So, like, basically, you've done it for everyone. And sure, he drove 3 hours in his own car, but he drove to see his girlfriend, who's in a whole different area of the UK. And then he went to, like, Parliament the next day.
Mm.
Like,
I would say something, but you know,
Dominic Cummings, Dominic came on her.
no, 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 no.
I don't know. It's like when you.
What I'm saying is, hopefully that punani was worth it.
I mean, he's like 45. I don't think that's what he went there.
Did he Dominic come?
Pretty went to do like taxes or something.
In
Is that what you think people do as soon as they get over a certain age?
I don't
Oh,
know.
babe, let's go on a date. Let me file my taxes real quick.
Well, like, what else you gonna do when you're like 45? Like, you're not doing
Fuck.
anything.
go out, do productive stuff. Ugh.
They're gonna have sex. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Buy
with Viagra, because Dominic Cummings can't get hard.
Did
Let's
Dominic
tell them
Cummings,
all.
Dominic come in her?
I mean, as back to the actual point at hand. I think that if you take up the responsibility to actually broadcast your message to an entire nation, that you should also take up the responsibility to not then go against that message. Like that should just be like that's like morals, you know. Like you have to like you can't just see people when you want in that position. You have to be selfless. Why are you laughing about what?
It's like, it's an abuse of power
Yeah.
at that point, because he recognizes that in this case he's not going to be like really taken care of, because you know he is what, it's not like he's above the law, but when he gets to a certain point in being a politician or being involved in politics, you can get away with a lot more stuff that other people can.
Can get away with murder.
No, he didn't face
That's not
he
the
didn't
point.
face fines. He wasn't arrested or anything. So he took that, like, he took the fact that he knew he could get away with it, even though other people probably wouldn't. And therein lies the issue, is that he has, like, even though he doesn't care about his message. And also, I feel like the issue also lies with Boris for, like, saying, oh yeah, I support his action.
Wait, he survived Corona.
That's another weird thing for me, that he's, as soon as he survived Corona and it was no longer an issue for him,
Oh yes,
it felt kind of
Corona.
like,
I forgot about that. But Big Boy Boris had corona.
He looked like
Yeah.
shit every time he stepped out of his door to clap for the NHS.
It
You
was like,
see,
as soon as it was over for him, he just didn't care anymore. He was telling people like, "Yeah, go back outside," and it's like dude,
his
you
face
literally-
was
you
sagging.
literally almost died from a disease, and you're telling people to go out and and not necessarily sacrifice, but be on the front lines and take that disease. It's like that's a bit sketch for me. Felt a bit selfish.
Yeah, it is a bit selfish. Like, you need more selfish people in power. Like, I'm just thinking about it now. It's like how a country is like how a country works and operates is like quite reflective of like a important person's mentality.
Hmm.
Like, so how has he gotten there in the first place with that kind of mentality?
Because he went to Eton, mate, but that's something we could cover on a different podcast.
He's a what?
Because he went to
He
Eton
went
and
to
he was in that
Eton.
big old club of Eton
Yeah.
politicians.
What was
innit?
he eating?
Pussy.
Yeah,
That was a perfect time for the dudum.
It never came because it wasn't worth it.
It didn't. It never
Never came.
Dominic did. Dominic did, mate.
Oh.
Woo!
Say so. I was gonna say something. Oh, but he is quite funny though. Like I've seen Boris just in general.
Compilations on YouTube. Oh,
Funny
Oh.
to laugh at, but I don't like.
oh.
Like, he's
The one where he
actually-
batters that fucking Chinese kid. It's funny because
he's actually like. Well, that happened. But like, he's been on like a lot of like game shows, not game shows, but like like for what's it called, like 4 or 5 cats, 9 out of 10
No.
cats.
4 out of
How many
5
cats is
guys, yes. We're on Spotify.
How many cats is it? 6
8
out of
10
7.
cats.
Huh?
Which 8 out of 10 cats? What are
That's 8
bro,
out
what
of
are you
10.
saying, bro? What are these?
Gee,
all the wrong numbers.
I forgot what it was.
This is like.
How do we feel about schools reopening?
I don't care. I'm not going back yet.
You know
I
what?
think that schools reopening is like one of the best things that could have happened because people are just falling too far behind. And if it went straight through into summer, people weren't going to catch up. But now at least there's a bit of incentive because
I'm
you've got the
caught up and
pressure
I'm
from the
not at school.
teachers. Yeah, but like
I don't know.
half the people, it's like 50% of people are caught up and 50% of people are just not. Probably.
Mate, summertime's
Or I
going to
don't
be
know.
my
Yeah.
fucking revision time. I'm going to sweat it out like it's nothing.
I mean,
No,
that's
it's
what I've
so
always done
gross.
every year, but I never end up doing it.
No, mate, this
Sean,
is the
that's
first
a
time and the
personal
last
decision.
time I'm
I
saying
feel like
this.
school coming back is actually really good for those who need school to be back. Like, I'll be honest. If I wanted to go back to school, I feel like I would probably feel comfortable going back to school.
I mean,
think the
school is
main reason
calm.
Joseph wants to go back to school is because, like,
I need a teacher to shove it down my throat, bro.
he needs a teacher to shove it down his throat, boys. That's the main reason he wants.
Really,
Hey, who's your teachers again? No, start naming your teachers.
to shove it down his throat. I think. That's,
What?
when we do Joseph plus the robotic Squidwards, you get Joseph needing something shoved down his throat. I think that's all.
Wait, are we allowed to talk about teachers?
Let's keep it to a minimum. I'd like to get good recommendations for my.
Shout out to all the teachers attending Mosvorn. Quick shout out. You're doing a great job. Stay strong. And
I mean, like, realistically, right? If Mr. Fun, pretty much anyone could be in school.
he is. He was there
Yeah, I know.
yesterday.
I actually don't feel safe with him being in school because he's always like, I don't take a day off when I'm sick, and I'm like, that's why other people get sick. Like, he's over here like coughing and sneezing. I'm like, go home. Like, he's like, I don't take days off when I'm sick. You shouldn't. It's like, I'm trying to prevent infection. Thank you very much.
That's a good point, actually. It's like overall,
I think we should just social distance in real
like
life.
doesn't productivity just decrease if you come into school? Because yeah, sure, you're doing work. Then in 2 days, you've got 2 other people who can't do work.
Except he's expecting them to come in while they're sick as well, and everybody else to come in while
Just
they're
have a
sick.
6. Well, I guess he sets the, like precedent.
That's how the zombie apocalypse starts.
I guess he just sets the like precedent that sickness isn't an excuse. Actually, that's literally what he says most of the time.
Yeah,
As
he
word
says
for
that
it
he's-
isn't an excuse, but
Sickness
still,
isn't an excuse. Okay, sorry I had
you have to
cancer.
like
but-
care for yourself. You know, like I'm sure it's not good to just leave a
Yeah,
sickness.
I don't understand that mentality. Does he want us to come into like? Do you want me to sit in the back of chemistry during my chemotherapy? Doesn't like? Would that make sense to him? He's like, it's not an excuse. So I literally have cancer. Please, sir, I'm getting an MRI in the back of the class. They're checking for what's in my
All
brain.
you hear is. That's all you hear. Don't move. Do you know what? MRIs, they used to scare the living
I've never
crap
done
out of
one
me because
before.
they used to say, like, don't move. And it's like, you're there, like,
I've never had one before.
Are you sure you're not just claustrophobic? Mate?
and it's like, when they tell you not to move, you want to move.
Everything
you're just there
starts
like-
itching.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
That explains why people can't stay at home during quarantine.
That's true.
Tell people to not stay at home.
They're
And
just
they'll
jealous.
stay at
They're
home.
just like, don't stay at home. It's like, but he's out. It's like, yeah, he's also collecting your bins. Leave him alone.
Wait, why have you both
That's another
done
reason
an
why.
MRI scan? Like, I've never had one in my life. I've never
Uh,
seen one. I've never been in a room with it.
I think I had.
That is,
I think I had
confidential.
an
Yeah, me
MRI
neither.
scan when I was getting. I've had I've had plastic surgery in it, but on my
Mhm.
face. I've also had scans for my knees before
Yeah.
because I got my lip removed and replaced.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just wanted to be an Instagram baddie. That's really what happens. I wanted to be like lip smacking Fenty Beauty in it.
That's fair enough.
So I got the plastic surgery and they scanned my face.
Oh, wait, back on topic.
Those aren't
Back
even
on
that bad.
topic. When talking about MRI scans, schools reopening. I think that my overall opinion is that it's probably it's a good that outweighs the cost of like people going out. Like I think it's definitely a step in the right direction,
Yeah, people are gonna go out
and
anyway.
they might as well go out.
At least make sure they're educated.
But to be fair, like at least in Mossborn, it's not that deep. Like it's basically the same thing.
Actually, yeah, I'm the only one who hasn't been back. How's
It's
it?
literally the same thing. Your desks go a bit further apart. I'm not gonna lie.
Not worth it then.
He's a lot more like he's not too bothered about it at all. But like in my class, at least like it wasn't that deep. Like it basically wasn't there. It was like 6 people or 7
Because
people.
I mean, if the lessons are the same as how they used to be before quarantine,
Yeah, they are. Well, at least for
then
my
it doesn't
honestly.
really.
Kind of.
Yeah. Then I mean, the only issue that I feel like I had with staying at home was that we weren't having lessons. We were having like those Q&A sessions. Where it was like,
Pretty much useless. Not gonna lie.
it's not useful if you don't have a question.
Oh, do you know what you should do? Just ask someone to like video call you, and like I don't know, they can put their phone in front of the class or at the back, and you could just chill.
I
understand what you're saying. But oh my god, learn how to speak better.
What do you mean?
Wait, I didn't catch it.
Exactly.
Basically,
You need to explain it to the
he's-
dumbest of
He's
people in every
basically
situation.
saying that when you're in a class, video
Love
call
you, Joe.
your friends so that they can be at the back of the class, basically.
So like,
Oh.
because I'm at home, I could video call John when he's in a chemistry lesson, and I'd
Get an iPad or some shit.
He'd probably let that happen. You know?
That would actually be so chill. The only issue would be I would actually have to like, if I actually ask a question, I put my hand up. So
The tiniest movements.
You
Oh.
definitely can't see that far as well.
yeah, there's no. I don't understand, right? Why is like every male teacher so old?
Because
No.
Like, do you
not every.
think most male teachers?
Shout out to Big
You're
Man.
right.
He's older.
Here's-
He's old in his.
Here's
soul.
the
Like,
actual
Nah, mate, he's an actual legend.
here's the actual news is that both genders have equal age, just that females are better at looking younger than males are.
Yeah, because women
Mate.
suffer less from fucking
Makeup, hair.
Old people
stress
disease.
and no stress and shit. Men are more stress prone.
No,
I'm
so
all
That
like,
is true.
females
Yeah.
are-
their
are-
mental
like,
health
psychological
are
thing,
worse than women.
because of the stigma against it. But that's something we're covering in a different episode.
So women,
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
I know what
I'll
I
take
did with
that
Black Power, but I couldn't remember the symbol for feminism, and I don't know if I can draw that.
Symbol's
Is it
very
just
easily.
an F?
Isn't it just a girl going
No,
like that with
it's
something in her arm?
the what
I forgot her name.
the
Isn't it just like a frying
Isn't like
pan?
a blue jumpsuit, like a red band thing.
I know what Joe's is talking about. The symbol where it's got like the sex symbol for women, then it's got the pink fist in the middle. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I
I
can't make no
definitely
Joseph.
talking about
No
that.
Joseph.
No, I got it, Joseph. Don't
I'm
worry.
changing it away
Don't worry, mate.
because I don't want to get cancelled on the internet again.
Again.
I got some,
All right. A few final closing points.
Since quarantine's ending, how do you
not.
think for us? How do you think the podcast's going to change?
As you say,
Uh,
are going to change or have changed?
I think that we might be able to like. It might be
Yes.
more. Bro, you really interrupted me to say yes.
It's
You
guess.
said yes.
As I was,
Yes.
guests. We already
Yes.
had guests, bro, in quarantine.
One.
Um,
And we had Brandon.
One and many more to come.
Who was. Do you know what? I'm not even gonna. If you didn't watch the episode, then you're missing out. If you did, you know what I'm talking about.
If you're just still missing out.
Are
on
they?
the list. All right.
If you did
Yeah,
watch the
everyone-
episode,
I was
go
gonna
back
say,
and watch the episode, then subscribe.
And then like and
I was
comment.
gonna say since we can have like, since we'll be able to meet up, the podcast will be more interactive because we'll actually be face to face
Yeah,
and maybe, and also I want to start taking suggestions for topics from the viewers if they've got any.
yeah, audience.
You might do
14
some,
viewers, come on.
Yeah.
Thanks
you
for
wanted to
staying,
talk about-
staying strong, boys.
All 24 of our
And ladies.
subscribers.
Come on.
I promise to give you my honest opinion about everything. I
Yeah.
don't know about
Give
everyone
us your
else.
honest opinion in the comments,
I
in our
think Joe
DMs,
is
on our
showing
Twitter,
that
our
most.
Facebook, our Instagram.
If you
Ah.
can't take opinions,
Then don't.
that's all I'm saying.
Then
We'll
still
take
watch our
opinions.
videos.
We're all strong-willed people. We
Yeah,
do
and leave all
things
your
that-
hate in the comments below.
Yeah, man. I
Wait, no,
really-
Nathan, I've got the perfect plan. We just turn off the comments.
Hey.
And how I'm gonna laugh at all the salty people.
Exactly. I
Nah,
love.
mate.
I actually really like hate comments.
Shout out to Freddie.
Three things. Three key points to take away from this podcast is one, that quarantine is not over us. Follow government
Stay safe out
guidelines.
there. Stay safe out there.
Two, don't talk to 58-year-olds without knowing if
Yeah.
they're a family member or not. And number three is
Stop talking to strangers.
like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
leave an
Oh, check us out on
comment what you want us to
Spotify.
talk about.
Leave it-
Check us out on
Spotify, hit up my
Spotify.
personal Instagram.
That's
Because why not?
sad, Joe.
Only men. He only wants men in his person.
Yeah, he
Only
wants
men,
58
please.
years
Only
old,
men. Yeah, no, 30 to like 70 does it for me. So yeah, thanks.
All right. Well,
Link in the description.
thanks for listening to the podcast. We will come back to you next week.
Wait.
Wait.
Oh, don't
want
Wait.
to wait for this. I'm not sure if you want to wait for this.
I need a teacher to shove it down my throat, bro.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Oh,
watching
Five
for our Five Guys
Hey, we had the same
podcast.
thing. Hey.
Yeah, we've been.
Five
us.
Guys.
We've been
When
3 out of
Joseph
4.
figures out how it's done.
Jesus
Christ.
We'll come back to you next week. Sure.
Those counts as
Every
well.
Saturday for the next
Every Saturday.
400 years.
Feel free
6
to
seasons
comment.
and a movie.